start the recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shen's private storyline that we're continuing. And I am still unsure
Yeah.
whether or not I want to post these in DM session notes and online. So if I do, then that hello, everybody will be for everybody who watches.
But if
Uh,
not, it's a secret.
yes, if not, it's a secret and will be revealed in the book. Um,
Yes.
Whenever that is written. I am well behind that. I have still yet to get through the first chapter and the intro piece for Rise of Nine. Um, because I've
I mean,
turned
it's.
a 4 minute
I ima-
intro into like 10 pages.
I imagine that writing a book is much harder than running a D&D game.
Oh, absolutely. Mostly because 90% of what I do is off the cuff. Like, I have the
Mm.
general idea, the general storyline I want to get through, but 90% of what I actually do is just made up on the spot. And this will certainly be more like 99% because I had like 20 minutes of prep time. So,
Sounds about right.
Shen, your last memories are getting your ass absolutely kicked in the last like 6 seconds of that fight. Up until that point, you were doing great, and then you just made a mistake or two, and well, you thought you were dying. You thought you were going to be dead. Um, and instead, you find yourself waking up slowly. And I don't mean that you come to consciousness necessarily slowly, but your eyes are effectively crusted over with that creepy kind of crust that happens when you sleep. It seems like you might have been asleep for a very long time. Your body is sore, but not because of the reasons you might think, not because of any of the wounds you've taken, but you haven't. It feels like you haven't even moved in a long time. You can know as you open your eyes, you notice that the muscle tone of your body has been reduced. Um, it's very clear you've been asleep for a long time. The room you're in has an ornate bed that you're sleeping on. It is a queen or king sized bed. It is absolutely massive. You feel tiny in comparison to just the bed alone. And then there's a fireplace. You can feel the warmth coming from one side. Um, and everything here has some form of gold leaf um, or other adornment to it. And in the corner, you see a place to sit.
I think as Shen awakens from this long rest, I think the first, it's not like a slow awakening. I think just from from what happened before he woke up, it's like I'm asleep. Oh my God, I was dying. Kind of like he regains consciousness and then freaks out because he thought he was dead.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not that you necessarily gained consciousness slowly, it's just your body's not responding fast enough for you.
Mhm.
And yeah, you
Uh,
jerk out of bed, and uh, there is more wealth in this room, despite having only a couple of objects in it, than you have probably ever seen in your entire life.
I think like uh, I reach into space and try to find some kind of my weapons. I don't think that Osh doesn't think they're there, but he reaches out.
Your you reach into your space, and before even trying to grab anything, just due to the nature of it and the fact you've used it basically your entire life, you know it's completely empty.
Mm, that's not good. Nobody else has been able to take things from my place.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look around for any kind of item that can be used as a weapon. I think I'm going into like protective survival mode almost.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Investigation. That's a +0 roll. That's a 6.
A 6. You look around, and although there are shelves, there's a table, and there's two nightstands in either side of the bed, as well as the fireplace and the two chairs. There's nothing in this room. The shelves are empty, the table is empty, and the nightstands are empty. There is nothing around that, unless you decide to attempt to tear apart the bed itself, there and take one of the posters I think they're called posters. The bed posts, yeah, posts. Take one of the posts from the bed and try and fashion that as a weapon. But to be honest, the bed looks like it's very, very well built, and would not come apart easily.
Okay.
Also, I did not have time to add doors to everything, so in between the two shelves is a large double door, by the way.
Okay. I think uh now that I've had a like check my surroundings, I look down at my chest. How Shen wouldn't think of it this way, but how healed is the wound?
There is no wound or scar that you can
Oh.
see.
Um. Oh, that's uh. Um. I think at this point, then Shen's like really confused and is going to get up and start walking towards the door.
Okay. Uh, can you move your character, or do I need to add that in a permission?
I cannot move my character.
Okay, give me a second. Sorry about that. Ocean. There, you should be able to move it now.
Yep.
Okay, you make it to the door, and yeah, you're just standing in front of this door. In fact, again, speaking of ostentatious, unfortunately, again, I didn't have time to add a nice door. Um, the door itself, this double door, looks like it's worth more than your house. It's got like
Um.
gold leaf. It's made out of some kind of purplish metal that you are completely unfamiliar with. And there's two, you assume, bronze or brass, not like door handles on it that you can push or pull on.
Yeah, I think I will just push the like do a kind of both doors push open like Aragorn in Return. Is it Return of the King?
Something
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. You push open the door, and on the other side of it, as it swings outward, and it seems to stop itself. You didn't hear it hit anything. You didn't feel it hit anything. They just stop at a certain opened percentage, and you can see two guards standing there facing away from the door.
Uh, do they look at me? Do they have
No,
a reaction to
they
me
do not have a
walking in?
reaction to the door opening.
Uh, I would like to at least, as I'm stepping through, I would like to like start sizing them up in a kind of like, uh, can I take these guys if they start attacking me kind of energy.
Uh, give me a perception check.
I'm better at those. That's an 11.
No, you think you'd get your ass absolutely beat by just one of them.
Okay. Uh, I look around this hallway that I'm in. Is there like some direction that seems obvious to go?
It's not necessarily a hallway, although the construction of everything around it, despite not being made out of walls, certainly makes it feel like a hallway. In fact, I'm trying to give it like an
Yeah.
actual angled
So it's like
vision.
it's an it's an open room, but
Yeah,
it
it's
kind
an
of
open room, but
looks
there's a lot of
it's
shelving
got stuff.
that effectively creates walls and spaces. In front of you, from the floor all the way to the ceiling is a stone column, but it doesn't look like a wall. It's very hard to describe because I don't think the English word has, or language has words for this. It's not a wall. It looks like it might be an addition or an ornamentation to what was once a completely wide and open room.
Mm.
And your angle views over, you can see on your right as you walk out of the door, there are two windows that view out over a courtyard of grass, which is crazy for you to think about. You've never seen so much green, not even in the merchant's quarters. And there's the edge of a fireplace that you can see around this center column.
I think uh, there is an initial like look in Shen's eyes of I'm just gonna jump through the window and get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
But then he second guesses himself. He's not like actually doing it. He's like outside exit, get out. But then he's like, oh wait, no, where the fuck am I? And anything further down this way, or is it just a wall?
Further down that way. I'm sorry. I'm just subtracting.
You're all good.
Yeah, this does look like it kind of turns into a hallway of some sort once
Okay.
you go left enough.
I think then I look at these two guards. Have they acknowledged me in any way?
No, they have not.
Then I start walking. I think I initially start walking towards the hallway.
Okay.
Uh,
As you pass this area here, you see shelves lined with books, and there were also shelves lined with books on either side of you as well. 1 second. Whoop. And as you know from Cairo just having a book of poetry, books are also extremely rare in this day and age. And across from that, you can also see that there is another door and two more guards standing at it on the other side of this room area. And there's even more shelves further over there, all filled with books of varying sizes. Some would even be called tomes or omnibuses of books. They are massive, they are skinny. Some of them look like they might take your entire life to read.
uh, I think Shen knows how to read. Just from because the mother was like a spellcaster, so she
Yes,
like
no, you guys are
would.
well educated for slum rats. You guys would know how to
Mm.
read at least the local language.
So I think I'm gonna keep going up this hall
Okay.
unless someone stops me.
Nope. As you round the corner, you notice a staircase. Um,
You sound very distant now,
oh,
suddenly.
sorry. As you round the corner, you notice a staircase with two guards standing in it, standing next to it. Neither of them nor any of the guards behind you have any reaction to your presence here.
I think Shen's like headspace priority is leave, so he's gonna start heading towards the stairs. Is it up or down for the staircase?
Down. They're going down.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. On
yeah,
2D planes, they don't look very clear.
yeah. Yeah.
Going down.
So, I
Also, from
think
the window, you can definitely tell you are not on the ground floor.
uh yeah, I think Shen's gonna head down unless they like because he hasn't seen anyone that's acknowledged him, and he's not sure if this is like the death throes of a dream right now. He's very confused,
1 second.
and he doesn't want to talk to the guards because they're like not looking at him.
I am prepping the next floor for you here. Give me a second. Okay. And then I need, like I said, I had no time to prep for
You're all good.
this. As I stated, I didn't even have time to put to put doors on the second floor of the mansion.
I'm currently just filling in. Sorry, I got hiccups. The Roll20 sheet that I started doing last night.
Okay. I'm going to move you over to the next floor. Uh, Here we have the
Uh,
ground floor. As you walk
I,
down the staircase, uh, you you can see coming into view as the floor that you're leaving passes above you, and it opens up into a massive atrium. The wood paneled floor, despite being wood, is clearly very ornate. You're descending down a massive staircase that leads in two directions. There are guards at the bottom of each of these staircases. Two more guards to the, I guess, top, although as you walk down, it would be your left. Guarding a closed door over there, and there is a large door uh, um, directly in front of you. Um, and to either sides there are large gold statues and a object you've never seen before in a corner. Obviously, as the player, you know it's a piano, but Shen has never seen one before.
Not yet.
Um, and this it's this floor of the mansion is tall. Like we're talking like 15 feet between ground and ceiling. And the statues reach all the way from the top to nearly the bottom, all the way to the top of that floor, nearly scraping their heads on the ceiling.
I think. Yeah, Shen. I need control of Shen again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, really? Yeah, until anyone stops him, he's just going to be trying to head towards the exit. So I think he's going to head down to here.
Okay, yeah, nobody stops you as you
Uh,
can walk through the door. Um, there is a small atrium uh, that has two large, like these are attached to the ceiling. These gold and purple things, they're attached to the ceiling, and there's a replica of them on the floor as well. And in between, there seems to be a place to store clothing. They are basically very, very, very fancy wardrobes. The floor turns from wood to a tiled marble, although you wouldn't even know, I guess you wouldn't even know what marble is, to a tiled stone. The two guards who are on this inside here, they each step forward, blocking your exit from the building.
yeah. I was expecting this to happen much sooner, but it's good that it's happened now. As Shen is stopped, I think he like looks at them and says, "Where do I go?"
They give you absolutely no response. It's
Uh,
almost as if you do not exist, except for the fact you walked towards them.
do they look like they're made of flesh, or do they
Yeah,
look like
they're
automatons?
humans that you might have seen an elvish guard, you might have seen a halfling guard or something like that. But no, they are human. They are wearing plate chest pieces and plate greaves, but their arms are just normal, like plate on the outside, but chainmail on the inside. They're heavily armored guards. And they seem to each be carrying two swords. Every single one of them carries two swords.
Okay. I think at this point, Shen is going to backtrack.
Oh, also, their heads are completely unadorned. You can see their full heads, so just all of
Okay.
them. It's like a standard uniform they're all wearing.
Uh, I'm gonna go to this door,
Okay.
start walking.
There are no guards here. Nobody tries to stop you. And you would enter this area. It would appear to be a kitchen.
Hmm. Do I feel hungry?
No. Surprisingly, you don't.
Hmm. I think that scares Shen more than anything else. But he's gonna head over
You
here.
can feel your stomach's empty, but you don't feel hungry. How's that? That's
Yeah,
a better description
I
for it.
I, I think it's like a weird situation. I'm guessing this is just a pantry.
Yeah, this is just a pantry. There seems
Yeah,
to be a wide variety of food and spices on the shelves. And the shelves
yeah.
do reach to the full height of the 15 feet. So there's actually a ladder in one corner so you can reach the top parts of the shelf. Here seems to be a dining area. It's very unadorned, even though the floor is quite nice. It's very unadorned to the rest of the mansion. Um, and there are some very basic wooden tables and chairs set up. Your best guess is this is where the guards have their like rest room, and there's just one of them sitting at a table eating.
Okay. Uh, I think I'll like step in, go this way, and then come out here and head towards that door.
Um, as you walk, actually, I'm going to move you back a little bit. As you walk towards this door, both of the guards block your path.
Okay. Uh, I guess Shen walks back up the stairs.
Okay. And here we are on the
Uh,
second floor with Shen again.
I think he just keeps going around the like, so he knows what's to the south, so he's gonna keep heading around
You
to the
kind of
north.
know it's over here. You've seen here, and you've seen here.
Yeah, I think I think he's gonna head this general direction, kind of head in, but
Okay. The guards at these doors don't try and stop you.
cool.
And you
Bigger room.
enter a well adorned bed chamber. It's slightly larger than the one you found yourself in. There are more books with shelves, or shelves with books, books with shelves on them. Shelves with books on them. Another place to sit and two tables, fireplace, and some bare shelves against the wall as you walk through.
Uh, I assume they don't want me to, whoever these people are, to sit down and sleep again. Is that a fireplace there?
Yeah,
Cool. I just I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Uh,
I mean, there's one
there's
in
only
your
one
room
spot.
too.
There is.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
if you look,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm just blind. I guess Shen goes over here, which is the last spot.
Yep. And as you enter over here, there is another fireplace. This area seems to be a bit walled off by the column in the center of the room, by the table next to you, and by the bookshelf on the other side of this area. It's a very cozy and intimate area with two very nice chairs. They're wrapped in leather. They look like if you sat down, they'd be too comfortable to ever get up from again. And in one of them sits a lady. She is wearing a very ornamental and cultural dress. She has a fancy headpiece on. Doesn't exactly look like the image, but honestly, if you want to use the image as a good indicator of what she looks like, she really looks like her image.
Okay.
So it's just she's not necessarily Asian, and the headpiece is definitely different.
Yeah.
And the dress is far fancier than the one there. In fact,
Um.
you get the slight feeling that the dress she is wearing might be worth more than this entire building.
I don't think Shen can understand why that would be the case or how that's possible.
You
But
just get like it's like it's hard to describe the dress without grabbing like an AI generated image, but this thing
yeah,
has like maybe 10, maybe even 15 separate layers to it that you can identify as pieces of cloth with gold lace through them are weaved all around her in a various but somehow organized color pattern.
I think I'm just gonna real quick. Yeah, I think Shen. What's Shen wearing right now? Is he still wearing his like
He's
scruffy pants
yeah,
and weird leather armor?
yep.
Okay.
And she's reading a book at the moment.
Um, Shen knows not to be rude to the important people, so he sees that he's disturbed her and is going to turn around to try and find somewhere else to go.
As you turn around, you hear the book snap close, and a voice issuing from behind you now. Did you enjoy the tour of the mansion?
I think when the book snap closed, Shen fully like tensed, ready to die. Like
That's
he just like was like, close eyes, I'm dead.
you hear a very soft, well spoken voice coming from her, and she asks, "Did you enjoy the tour of the mansion?"
Uh, very, very carefully, Shen will turn, like keeping his eyes down so he doesn't make eye contact with her, because he's a slum rat and she's a powerful, noble lady that has a dress that's more rich than a house, uh, which is more expensive than a, a room of it is more. A thing in a room is more expensive than his entire
Yeah,
house.
the
So he's like,
pantry is almost the same size as your house, by the
yeah, it's like this is like a level that Shen never expected to ever even get a chance to look at. Yet now he's in the house. It's a weird situation, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
You
looking
have the
down at the
feeling
floor.
that just like walking on the floors is making the house depreciate.
Yeah. So Shen is looking down at the floor, and uh, doesn't speak, but just nods.
You can hear what almost approximates as a slight cough as her headpiece jingles. Um, and she goes, "Good. I assume you don't feel too hungry at the moment. I made sure that you were well sated as you slept."
Uh, I I don't want to make eye contact with her, but I'm going to look up until I can see what she's doing.
Uh,
Just
you can
just
see that the general motion of her body, she is slightly twisted, although the chair is kind of already angled in your direction. She is slightly twisted in her seat to look at you.
okay. Uh, I think Shen is truly like, I don't know what to do. So he's just kind of, because she said go ahead. I don't know what she means by that.
She didn't say go ahead. She said, I assume you don't feel too hungry right now. I made sure that you were sated as you slept or slept.
Uh, I think Shen just nods again.
That's good to hear. So, what do you think about my home?
Shit, he can't answer with a yes or a no.
I know, that's
Uh,
why she asked you that.
um, uh, uh, hang on. Hang on. There's a word that I'm thinking of that I would like to use, but I can't remember what the word is.
I hate when that
Uh,
happens.
I'm on thesaurus.com. Don't let me down. Uh, 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 this makes sense. Shen mostly works in numbers, and he has a special ability where he can like one of the abilities you gave him was like he can tell money stuff. I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly what it was, but he's
What?
just gonna say valuable. He's gonna go valuable.
Um,
Still looking down, not looking at her.
are you still doing the view of like most of her body, though?
Yes.
Okay.
I do not. I want to be able to see what she's doing. I do not want to make eye contact.
Gotcha, gotcha. Just making sure for the description I'm going to give you. You can hear jingling again, coming from just outside of your view. You're assuming it's the headpiece. As her
Mhm.
body twists slowly around, looking at her home, um, or looking around the room, and she goes, "An interesting choice of words. Uh, this is only, after all, my summer home."
Uh, um. Uh. Shen says the pantry is larger than my home.
I suppose it would be. In fact, I probably knew that. Would you be surprised to learn that I have visited your home?
I think like there is a visible moment where every like hair stands on end and he starts to like sweat a lot and he will just say why.
Because your family is unbelievably adept at using magic.
um uh Leave them alone.
Oh, well, your family ran from me. Not that I blame them. I do strike an imposing figure, I suppose. But no, my intention was neither to harm or bring misfortune to your family. That said, by the time I had arrived, it seems that your mother had already been taken, and I am so sorry to say, but your younger siblings are dead.
uh Complete like attitude change from the like subservient. He looks her dead in the eye with intent to like cause some shit to happen.
Okay.
Like he's not actually gonna do shit, but he's like angry, like who do I who hurt my family? It's just kind of energy right now. Trying to see if she was the one that hurt this family.
You see absolutely no reaction in her face. It is like a slate of stone. But you can finally see the jingling. She's wearing effectively an elaborate crown-like thing that has little metal beads hanging off of it. It's certainly not as tall as it is in the image there, and it doesn't cover her head. It acts as a circular crown around her, around the rim of her head, the top of her head. And as she looks at you, she goes, "No, I did not harm them. Perhaps I should explain who, or rather what, I am. I am known as the Seeker. I work for the Magisterium, and my only job is to find those with a natural talent for magic and ensure that they are trained properly in the ways to use it. Magic can be quite dangerous without any training. My only intention in going to your home was to recruit your family for this training. I never wanted to harm them. I never meant to do anything. I didn't even mean to scare them. But they ran, And after they ran, I entered their home, and that is when I found your younger siblings. I believe there were three of them. Um, Dad, from what your other siblings told me, the ones that ran from me, I learned that they had already discovered that your mother was taken. To where and by whom, I do not know.
I think there's a eagerness to leave and help his family. So Shen's gonna say, I need to help them. Can I leave?
She kind of moves to scratch her head, but puts her hands back in her lap. And she goes, "Unfortunately, at the moment, no, you cannot. Not that I wouldn't understand your want to help your family, but I might have broken a couple of rules bringing you here. The simple fact is, you have a very unique trait for spatial and gravity magic, something that is a very, very rare aptitude, even amongst the most powerful mages. I thought it was best to bring you here so I can train you myself. And as
What?
for leaving and helping your family, the only way you could help your family is by becoming stronger."
Um, uh, can I make some kind of check? I'm happy to have disadvantage on this check. I want to know why it would be breaking rules to have me here. Like, I want to. How much does Shen know about like the actual magisterium rules and stuff?
That is a really good question. Um, yeah, you can make a history check at disadvantage for sure.
Cool. This is a straight roll at disadvantage. That was a 10 twice.
10 twice. Wow. That is a
If we add them
much.
together, it's a 20.
Yeah, no, it's that's not how it works.
You sure?
Very.
Okay.
My cat's meowing. Uh, I would say that the intricacies of how the magisterium work are lost on the general populace. However, it has been 900 years since this form of government's been established across the world. So the general populace has a reasonable understanding of the basics. Um, you would know that a seeker is somebody who, as she stated, goes out and finds individuals with a natural talent to recruit to what is affectionately known as the Academy.
Hmm.
Each magisterium has their own academy, so it's not like everyone on the continent or in the world goes to one academy. No, each magisterium has their own academy. And that is the normal process. And through the academy, you would learn how to use magic, and you would learn or you would learn how the magisterium works, and you'd effectively rank up until you become a the most basic level of magister. Um, Now, the general populace certainly has absolutely no idea how cruel these academies are, so that is the assumed progression that everybody makes. Um, and that it's effectively breaking the law of at least this magisterium to not send somebody to the academy who can use magic.
Okay.
She is certainly
Um,
circumventing the rules. So,
what do you want of me? Is his next question.
I want you to become my apprentice, to learn from me and to learn about magic, as I have no aptitude for spatial or gravitational magic.
Uh,
I, in
I
turn,
think Shen kind of uh as she's saying all this, shakes his head and says, "What do you really want of me?" and is like implying the idea that we both know that you don't just want to train me because I have this weird magic. You want me to do something for you. And whether or not she like answers is up to her, but that's what he's saying.
She gives you a slight smile, which disappears very quickly. And before she can answer you, you can hear a pounding from the door downstairs, like the main door of the home.
Uh,
She stands slowly and says, "It seems we have some guests. Would you care to meet them?"
uh, is this a situation where she's phrasing it like a question, but it's not a question, it's an order?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Shen nods. I'm
Okay.
going back into silent mode.
We will drop back down to the lower habitation area. Uh, Let me grab the woman. There we go. And then actually, I forgot that these guys were on the top layer. Now I need to find them as well. That's not him. That's him. And where are his? There we go. Okay. Subtract. Here we go. I'm just gonna actually I can reveal everything that isn't the room you were denied access to because it doesn't matter at this point. Um, these guards will have stepped aside. And she leads you through. Again, these doors are quite small on the map. They are actually massive. She
Mm.
leads you to the front door, where the guards on the inside move forward, and these guards step to the side. As the doors swing out and the guards walk out with them, standing in the what would effectively be a courtyard, although not many places you've ever seen have a courtyard, is a not as nearly as adornedly dressed elderly man who is flanked by two differently dressed guards. And she walks through the threshold of the door, and the man on the outside says, "Ah ha ha, Yavana! I thought you were going to keep me standing here all day. How are you doing today?" And she nods quietly and goes, "I am fine. And yourself?" And he opens his mouth to respond, and then he sees you standing there. And he looks past, now you know her name, Yovena.
I
Um,
was thinking, I didn't ask her name. That
no,
was
you
very neat.
didn't. And he goes, "And who is this interestingly dressed fellow?" Yovena turns and looks at you and goes, "This is Shen. He is to become my new apprentice."
Um, I just bow. I don't say anything.
The man,
It's it's a little bit awkward and a bit kind of unpracticed, but he is like going through the motions of bowing to make it look like
I
I'm
would say
bowing.
that most commoners know how to bow, simply
Yeah,
because although it is rare, magisters do occasionally walk in common areas, and as you know, you can access the merchant district of the city. They're
yeah,
more likely to be found there than in the slums. So every commoner knows the general practice of how to treat a magister, which is
yeah.
move to the side, get out of the way, and bow, or even go even further and get on your
Um,
knees, kind of bowing.
I'm making rolls for myself. Okay, I'm rolling really badly. Shen does the like uh I think Shen just goes through the motions of moving to the side and bowing, but it like takes him in a weird direction because instead of it being like this noble's passing by, so I have to move to the side and bow, it's this noble is chatting with another noble. I move to the side and bow, so it's like what? You know what I
Um,
mean?
yeah, no, I get it.
I think he's just stressed,
Oh,
like freaking the
absolutely.
fuck out.
Makes sense. And one second. I did not do this earlier. I believe it's F11. There we go. Full screen it. And the man looks past and goes, "Oh, I don't remember seeing him at the last selection. Where did you find him?" Uh, Yavena shrugs and goes, "I mean, he's not dressed too well. Maybe your eyes simply missed him. Or perhaps I."
Perhaps what?
Sorry, I had to cut off
But
and read something. Um,
no good.
or perhaps I simply found him on a street corner, and much like a lost puppy, I decided to adopt him. The old man gives Yavena a very interesting look um, before marching past her, and uh, he doesn't touch you, but you feel yourself forced to stand straight.
Uh, okay.
Like he,
So yeah, I think I was bowed this entire time, not knowing when to stop.
yeah,
And
again, he
then
doesn't touch you. You just feel the. It's like you have
it's
no
like
control over your body.
telekinesis kind of thing.
You just stand straight.
Okay.
Um, and you notice that the older man, has walked up to you and seems to be giving you a good look over. Give me
uh,
an Arcana
I
check, actually.
kind of check. Oh shit! This is the best roll I've had all day. But it's a +0, so 16.
16. That's still good enough. You can feel waves of magic coming off of him as
Hmm.
he looks at you. He's clearly not just appraising you with.
Do I feel like I can speak in this moment?
Yeah, you have full control over your vocal
Okay.
cords. Yeah.
Can I see what was her name? Yavena?
Yeah, Yavena.
Can I see Yavena?
Yes, she is standing right next to him, now also facing you guys.
Uh, I like. I think. I think I make eye contact with her, and I'm like, "What should I do?"
You get no response from her.
Fuck. Uh,
um,
uh, okay. This person is now my master. I should probably help them, but I don't want to say something that gets me or her into trouble. Uh, High or low? Low. I say the bad thing. Um, uh, Fuck. Okay. Um, Lady Yavena uh took me before the selection process. A uh, instructor thought that I would try to think. Osh is trying to think of the word. Shen is saying this all very quickly. Uh, Thought I would compliment her quite well.
the old man looks back at Yavana uh, and gives her a wink and goes, "Compliments you. I didn't think you had that in you, Yavana." And Yavana simply bows her head ever so slightly, in kind of like it's almost like a sideways bow that she makes with her upper body too, as her upper body tilts, even though her head doesn't necessarily like move on her neck. And
Mm.
she goes, "Give me 1 second. I am trying to find something here."
Uh, I've been rolling a lot for like what does Shen do, and I rolled a 2 for whether he says anything or doesn't, because I felt like the smart thing to do was to say nothing at all. Dumb thing to do is to open your fucking mouth. But there's a fucking powerful Inquisitor dude, Magisterium motherfucker here, and there's another one, and I'm stressed, and my family's missing, and I'm just gonna say words. And hopefully
No,
she's happy.
you're all good. And as she's making this half bow, she holds it there and says, Of course, Lord Grand Magister. Everybody has needs. Now, if you don't mind, you should retire to the guest quarters. My oh god, this
I
is
feel
again
like
me thinking of word.
yeah,
My servants will attend to your every need, and I will see you as soon as I have a free moment.
I feel like as well. Just I know say it a lot, but this dude is over 6 feet tall in this kind of world, and is like he's a little bit weaker, but he's cut. He's like really muscular, so it's like a weird thing to see just in general, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
so it's like and a paragon has just appeared in this lady's house, and it's like, oh,
Yes. The old man is of average height, so he's about 5'8", 5'10". Yavena is actually slightly taller than him at around 5'11" to 6 feet tall. So she's also a very tall lady, but she's has a very, despite the fact that her dress basically probably quadruples her thickness, you can tell that she's a very slender woman. Um,
mhm.
um,
Yeah. Shen's apparently I put 6'3".
yeah, so Yavena is about
Troll.
3 inches shorter than you, where this man is about 6 inches shorter than you.
Yeah.
And the old man just simply looks back and smiles at Yavanna and goes, "An absolutely wonderful idea. I find myself quite parched today." And as he walks past you, he slaps you on the ass.
Um, I truly think Shen just does nothing.
Okay.
Like
And he disappears over this way, and you don't know where he goes, so I'm just going to put him over there.
that's fine.
His
Uh,
guards, however, walk past and take up positions here and here. They don't fully enter the home, they stay in the anteroom.
if I look at my new master, does she seem approving of my speaking up or not?
You can give me a perception check. Do you have any bonuses to perception?
I have a +2 to
You
perception.
need to roll an
I also have a plus
18.
two to insight.
Well, you can do it. You said +3 to insight?
I have +2 to both, so
Oh,
it's
you can do an insight or perception. I don't know. Maybe you have proficiency in one. Either way, you're going
I
to, with a +2, you're going to need to roll an 18.
okay. Yeah, I got proficiency in both. So 18 total or 18 +2 to 20.
The threshold is 20, so whatever you need to roll to get to a
Okay,
20.
that's 7.
No, stone slate as always.
Fuck.
Also, as the old man slaps your ass, you can feel that you can move again.
Uh, uh, I'm looking at her, ready to follow her, because I'm not going anywhere without this powerful lady that seems to have an interest in me, because
Um,
that's the way I live.
She crosses her arms in front of her, sliding each arm into each sleeve because these are like massive. These are like your typical massive like uh, kimono sleeves.
Mm,
So she slides them in and turns around and walks out into the courtyard.
I follow.
Good.
Uh, I think I like look back at the guards because I assume, look different to these guards, and
Uh,
just like clock their like equipment
yeah,
and gear
they
and shit.
are much better dressed than Yavena's guards.
Okay.
They have helmets on. They carry tower shields with them, and their armor is completely black.
Mm, that's
It's also much
concerning.
heavier than it's clearly much heavier than the lighter plate armor that Yavena's guards are wearing.
Mm, okay.
As you
Uh,
and Yavenna enter the garden area, the two guards that open the door close them again and go back inside with the doors as they close. And these two guards move to take their position at the sides of the door as well.
uh, until she talks, Shen is going to be quiet.
Yavenna
He-
stands there for a while, staring up into the tree. Which this is, it's not a big tree, but you can tell it's a very old tree. In fact, it's
Uh,
so old it's starting to lose some of its leaves. despite it being what is effectively a perpetual summer here.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I'll do a quick scan around the garden just to have a look at what the fuck's out here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sidle up just behind her and just look up in the tree as well.
Yeah. Although I didn't, due to constriction of map size and the fact that I didn't have time, there's a whole garden moving past this area as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I assume so.
and to the sides of the buildings are lined with well maintained flowering bushes and plants. The bushes are like right up against the wall. The plants are lined in front of the bushes. It's a very well maintained garden. To either side, there seems to be an ancient looking uh, stone like dome on
Mm.
either side of the pathway leading in further into the garden area. And out past what you can actually see on the map, there would be hedges and other flowering plants laid out in a very neat row and very well maintained. As you look up in the trees, the wind begins to blow, uh, and you hear again the slight jingle. Um, and I need you to make an Arcana check.
16.
16. You detect danger coming from a magical source from Yovena's position as you look up. I will allow you, because again, magic training is definitely different than necessarily combat.
Mhm.
And without warning, I assume you would look back at Yavena, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, you can see a compression wave moving through the air towards you. You have
Cool.
effectively split second to defend yourself.
Um, Mechanically, is this an attack roll or is it a saving throw situation?
Uh, it is kind of both. Um, it would
I'm more asking, should I be casting shield so I get a bonus to my AC, or should I be
yes.
trying to get the fuck out? Okay.
No, you should be casting
So
shield.
cool. So yeah, that's he hasn't been able to do this before, but as this wave is coming, he like raises his hand and a there is a cut in space that like functions as like it's cutting through the magic. I'm not sure it's going to work or it's going to get smashed, but that's my shield. So I like swing my hand up, and where my fingertips like touch, just space is wrought, and there's like a very small thin line that would shatter the magic coming at me. Is the intent?
Um, yeah, no, that works perfectly fine. Roll me a d20 plus whatever modifier you would add for a normal attack roll for magic.
This is a 5. 16 plus 5, 21.
That is great. Yavena rolled a 14 and she gets a plus 6. So that is a 20. You successfully defend. However, because you have the trait untrained magic user, you need to
Mhm.
roll another d20, and your failure threshold, I believe, is 4 from last episode.
So it would be 1 for the level plus 3. Yes, so 4.
Yeah, because every time you use magic, it goes up until you fail. It's like a wild
Yeah.
magic surge, but it just means that you fail at the magic rather than anything necessarily wild magic-y happening.
Would you like to know what the number was?
What is it?
It's a natural 1.
So, you, let me see, how do I want this? You will successfully defend yourself because you made the defense roll properly. Um, but you completely lose control over the magic. And
Mm.
instead of it just dissipating the magic, it turns into like an attack as well. So I'm going to need you to make an attack roll against Yavena.
I think this makes sense. I panicked and just went, shield.
So it's kind of like a slicing distortion through spatial magic
Yeah,
going at
yeah.
her.
The intent is that it's just like a cut in space that destroys anything coming at me. But with the way that I swung my hand, I like pushed it forward.
Yeah, you push it
Uh,
forwards towards Yavana.
19 total.
19. That beats her armor class. Um, that said, Yavana will also have the opportunity to react as well. And ooh, that is great. That is a 19 plus 6, making it a 25. Um, uh, and as this attack wave comes closer, she reaches her hand out and grabs the spatial distortion. And as it still moves forward, she doesn't stop it with her hand. She curls her hand around the distortion and pulls it up over her as it dissipates into the air.
Um, I think so. If I'm like here looking up, was look next to her looking up at the tree, I have immediately like made as much distance between us as possible.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You see Yavana actually chuckle a little, although it'd be more like a dainty giggle. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I think he's fully in like I'm fighting for my life right now. I'm going to die, but I'm gonna do something as I do. He's truly in like fight or flight mode.
Yavana puts both of her hands back into her kimono again and gives you a slight nod and goes, "Very well done. I wasn't expecting you not only to defend, but attack me as well."
Uh, I think Shen is gonna take honesty is the best policy with this woman that is very powerful. So he says, I didn't mean to attack.
No, I saw that. You are an untrained magic user. Many untrained magic users have little control over their spells. But either way, the result was the same. You turned a defense into an attack. It is certainly a promising start.
You're not going to kill me.
No, I'm going to train you, and part of that training will involve tests, much like this one. Also,
Okay.
you'd notice at this point that she hasn't raised her voice, but you can hear her just as clearly as when you were standing next to her.
Does it feel I'm just gonna go into kind of less kind of random words. Is it telepathy or is it just magic that moves her voice?
Magic that just moves her voice. It's not telepathy.
Okay, cool. Um, he will nod. Uh, okay.
Um, and she looks back at the tree, and this time she walks up to it and
Uh,
one second. I'm sorry. I'm also
okay.
since Rise of Nine is starting soon. I'm still doing
Yeah,
some
it's all
prep
good.
work for it. I apologize.
I just was worried that maybe like cut out or something.
No, no, no. I am just pausing because and she places her hand on the mat onto the tree, and then turns to look at you again and goes, "Magic has many uses, and in the world we live in today, often magic is used to destroy or create abominations. but often magic can be used to heal as well. Sometimes that healing power comes through the divinity of a god or a demigod or one of the many spirits of this world. And as she talks, you can see a glowing green like siphon of energy flowing into the tree. Um, but magic itself can also be used to heal. It is an underappreciated art by the magisters, and as this energy enters the tree, it begins to like straighten up. It starts to grow, and more leaves start to appear on its dying branches. Um, if you want to help your family, the best way to do so is to become strong enough to protect them from anything that might harm them. What I offer you here is the ability to learn how to do that. And as she takes her hand away from the tree, it has basically been returned to full health, um, effectively making it even younger as well, completely rejuvenating the tree.
Okay. Um, uh, Shen has been agreeing with her, like, and going along with her, like, training thing, just because it feels like if he says no, he's dead. Uh, he still believes that, but he's going to nod with a determination of, I can help my family if I do this.
Yes. She watches you nod and steps away from the tree and walks over to you and goes, "The training won't be easy, but sorry, let me restart. The training won't be easy because magic itself is not easy. And if I were to go, and if I weren't to push you as hard as I can, what you would learn wouldn't be sufficient to accomplish what you want. So do not expect this to be easy. Do not expect this to be kind. But it will not be cruel, not like the academy." She takes one of her arms out and holds it out to, holds a hand out to you to shake your hand, and goes, "My promise to you is to make you strong enough that nobody can tell you what to do. Magic, the magisterium magisters, all of this. We don't seek power to destroy, we don't seek power to dominate. The truth of the matter is, we seek power so that we can be as free as we want to be."
Uh, uh, I'm just assuming that she can tell, and also because it's for a book, I'm going to tell you things that Shen is thinking
Yeah, no,
uh,
great.
for helpful stuff. Shen absolutely doesn't believe the words that she's saying about Magisters not seeking power to destroy or dominate or whatever. Uh, um, and I think he was already in the headspace of I could die at any second. So being trained in a way where he accepts that he's going to die any second seems like a good way to survive this shit. Like kind of like samurai style, live every day like it's your last kind of methodology headspace. Um, and reaffirms his own determination, nods, and takes her hand.
She shakes it with a strength and firmness that you would not expect from her very slender fingers,
Mm.
and she goes, "Good. Then your training has already begun, and moving forward, we will continue working together on this." And that is where I am going to end this session because I still have some prep stuff for the Rise of Nine I need to do.
It seems
Um,
like a good session. Good point to end.
yes, that's what I was building towards.
Yeah.
There will be some
Uh,
time skips for Shen as well, some
that's
training
fine.
montages, and probably next session we will assume that you have trained for a little bit at least. So by next session, either at the beginning of it or at some point, you will gain a level as again. So you can just add that to your character now if you want to.
Cool.
And we will move forward from there once I have something more cemented planned. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording and say goodbye, everybody, if anybody ever sees this.